poetry remains an important part of art and culture. It is a type of literature that conveys a thought, describes a scene, or tells a story in a concentrated lyrical arrangement of words. My dear lady, come and tell us who the poet is.
My name is Rachel Janney. I'm the youngest daughter of poet Edwin Janney, and I will be reading his bio this evening. Poet, writer, journalist, and business consultant Edwin Janney was born in the very early 60s to the late Jeriel Janney, a building engineer, and Augustina Janney, a social worker and dress designer in Ghana. Over the years, Edwin has developed a broad world outlook due to extensive travel and exposure to varied cultures worldwide. Being the only Black high school student living with a white host family exposed the young poet to rural American culture in this part of the world. Some of his earlier views on race and his identity as an African outside the continent took roots with this experience. As a university student in the then Soviet Union, during a very interesting transformational period from the mid to late 80s through the early 90s, hearing the stories of other international students from over 125 countries worldwide gave Edwin much impetus to his poetry. Ladies and gentlemen, with a standing ovation, could we please welcome my father, Mr. Edwin Janney.
My church leaders are here. My boss from the job is here. And my wife is here. And very close friends are here. From Richmond, Dr. Ellis, people like that, who can relate to this. Bonetta is here. Eric is here. I mean,
choose words for
but
their meaning and acoustics.
It's about how he made that soup. It was just a soup. But it was a demonstration of love from a father, which took years at my 61 years old to understand that. Fathers have different ways, especially African fathers, of showing their love. Up at dawn, first peak of sunrise, an easy Sunday morning he will arise, en route later to the famous fish seashore. Fresh fish to procure in boats the night before. Organic, yes, none to compare. Ata Jerry, old crow, senior co. My old man, all merry. Always on the go. A soul so glued to nature. Very simplistic. His heart, one that craves the joy of people. His hands are eager to lend to an ordinary person. Now Pops back in the cooking kitchen, in a pot, all boiling. Ingredients with no chicken. His face wearing with pride. A smile contagious. Humming a tune, embracing the soup so delicious. With light, his love, dedicated to my father. Thank you.
Like other forms of literature, poetry is written to share ideas, express emotions, like our brother just did, and create imagery. Poet, can we please go to the next poem?
This poem, entitled The Child, was written on November 20th, 1986, whilst I was a student in college in Moscow, USSR. It's only right that we try to understand them and to help them develop as well as tap into their innate qualities to make the world a better place. The Child. The child. He seeks to learn of every day. He rhymes the sounds that adults make A tender gait his motions brings, just like the infant little birds that seek to test their wings in flight. He feels at ease with all the globe, so let's go lose his stomach's soil. He opens taps where'er he'll be to let his waters flow with ease. He pays no fee to sup or dine, and bears no charge to keep in time. So eats and sleeps and plays at will, and lives at peace with all that live. He seeks to know of all the whys of distant sounds unknown, the whys of rains that fall at night, the whys of winds that blow their course. His mind denotes a paper blank that lies so clear and pure in thought. He bears a heart that knows no hate, that knows no creed and knows no race. Did not the Holy Book say that one who seeks to live above should take his gait, his heart, his smile, to gain his fare to scale the skies? He is a child so meek. In him we learn of what we lack, a heart of love all well pronounced, the smile of innocence on his teeth, the touch of purity in his soul.
What a moment, what a time. Just sitting down there looking at how God has really blessed our deacon with all these wonderful poems flowing and coming out. Well, it simply tells me 20 years ago when I met him together with Brother Sonny, there wasn't any doubt in my mind that these were two people that God were raising in the community for a greater venture. And I'm so thankful and so glad that today we are all witnessing this great moment. Today, over the years, as we're about to launch, as a book has been made possible by the grace of God, and it's not by magic, but by the reality of what has been deposited in a man who has really endowed himself, positioned himself to be able to receive from God. Many families around the globe will have the opportunity to add to their collection of poetry in their libraries. A book which contains nuggets and jewels of information. Ladies and gentlemen, help me with a standing ovation to adore this masterpiece, work of art, magnum opus. And let's accept this as it comes to be counted, and let's make it a great book. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Over the Years. Thank you so much, and please take your seats.
I know most of us have books at home, books that we study to get jobs and all of that. And we have books that just stay with you. Like the Bible, we always have it. You know, this is a social book. I'm a literature student, so I'm just going to go on and on. And after Apostle came and spoke all that English words, I don't even know what else is left for me to say. But what I can say is, if you don't have the words to write a poem for your wife. My husband doesn't have the words to write a poem for me, so he will buy one. Those that will get stuck along the way, like Mr. Laxapo, he also buy one, you know. Boris, he has words, but he can't finish, so he also buy one. So we're going to do a lot of buying today. Are we getting an amen here? Amen. Okay.
So I'm here with the man of the hour, the man himself, Mr. Edwin Janney. It's an honor and a privilege to be able to just interview you about just this whole event. In In your view, how do you think this event went? Did it exceed your expectations?
It did, because I mean, it's not like I was surprised that it happened, because I know that when things are done timely, on God's time, He shows up mightily. And you can tell it from, you know, how people felt about it and their response. There's some people who even didn't like poems, but they came and said, no, I didn't even think poetry was like that. And that's the purpose. Whatever God gives you, you got to put to use, not just for your private self, but you got to share it. So I felt very good.
A lot of people were saying the word impact, that your poems had impact. So I wanted to ask you, were you thinking about impact when you wrote these poems?
You have to. You have to. It's not enough to just feel that you can rhyme words and do things. I mean, everybody can do that. But whatever you do, who writes a song, who writes a poem, is about the impact, how it's going to change people's lives. You know, I mean, people may buy a book, maybe just one poem is going to make a difference. And so long as it does that, you feel accomplished. Yeah. It's a good feeling, though. You know, there's so much power behind it that, you know, the many times in life I have had to just depend on these words because I know they don't come from me. Yeah, that's how that is. Yeah. That's how I feel about it. Yeah. Cool.
And I think just after this event, a lot of people's perspectives have changed about what poems are and what poetry is. So we are looking forward to the next chapter of this creative journey of yours. And we are hoping for another bigger event, you know, just seeing more people come out and being inspired by their poems.
Even though, you know, it was done in a very small area, but the impact is so great.
Content of all the poems and how I see it empowering and encouraging the youth, especially, to let them know that they definitely can do whatever they want to do.
The event was amazing. Like, I think Deacon, this is such a great thing that he's doing, to see, you know, him craft all of this over the years, you know, all his poems, and, you know, we're really excited about it, and, you know, we're just here to support and have a good time. Yeah.
How did you find the whole event? What was your takeaway?
I think this was very nice event, you know, to come here and support our brother and at the same time learn a lot from this, you know. Poem or poet is something that we live with every day, you know. We can attest to it in our own life.
I think I like many things that he shared about what's happening in the black community and what the video camera has come to help us.
I think what he has done, we have not seen anything like it in the community. So we are actually looking forward to the next thing that he's gonna bring us. So we are all very, very excited.
Oh man, I'm super excited. You know, this is something he, you know, got to share with me, and to see, you know, just everything manifest at this time is amazing. So I'm ready for what else, you know, he has to come. I know he's gonna combine, you know, maybe some music or some other things. So it's gonna be beautiful. We can't wait.
So that's a wrap on the interviews for tonight at Over the Years, the first ever book of Mr. Edwin Janney. I want to thank everyone for giving me the opportunity to interview them.